Welcome to another episode of They Lied About Entrepreneurship. Today we are interviewing my girl Kira, who is from New York, but now here in Houston.
Yes. Love it here.
So Kira, tell us a little bit about what you do.
So I'm a creative. I don't like to say author because there's so much more that I do. I do visuals, I do directing, I do poetry, spoken word performances, acting. So I just like to do anything in a creative field, painting, just anything like that.
Okay. I didn't know that you painted. That's dope.
Yes. Well, I paint for myself. I don't sell my work.
Oh, okay. That's dope. So, what made you want to be an entrepreneur?
I'm a Leo.
Okay.
And it's hard for me to understand authority and someone being in charge of me.
That's that Leo.
Yeah. So I always had an issue when I would try to have jobs. They would be like, Carrie, you have to do this. And I'm like, okay, but you can ask nicely. Like, don't tell me what to do. You can ask me what to do. And they're like, you're the employee. This is what you hired to do. And after like 20 jobs, I was like, yeah, this ain't going to work. I need to go work for myself.
Okay.
Because I have a real problem with authority.
Okay. So how long have you been an entrepreneur?
Years now. The last time I had a job was 2019. Okay. I got a part-time job. I was actually working at the New York Times.
Okay.
It's freelancing work for them, but even still, it was a job. But yeah, I've been working for myself full-time since 2019.
Okay. Cool. So what made you move to Houston?
So I started making a lot of money and I was living in the South Bronx at the time. Okay. And if you know anything about New York City, the South Bronx ain't where you want to be when you start changing your tax bracket. So I was like, I need to get a gated community. I need to get a pool. I need to get a balcony and a high rise and all of these things for my daughter without having to worry about looking over my shoulder. Okay. So I was like, where can I move that I could afford to live in safety and lavish and, kind of be tucked out the way a little bit. Okay. Houston is way out the way.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about your childhood.
I am a fourth child and a third daughter. So if you grow up in a big family, you know that, especially when you're on the younger side, there's kind of a lot you have to do for attention. And because your parents' attention is divided between so many children. Mm-hmm. So my childhood was a lot of time was spent just trying to find where I could stand out and where I could get individualized attention. But it was beautiful. I love coming from a big family because having so many siblings provides me with the space to have a large support system. Like, there's a lot of us.
Okay, cool. So you talk a lot about relationships and these men and all of that. So, like, where did that stem from? Like, when I met you, it was in Jersey. And I was like, she is dope.
I say the greatest inspiration for my writing is, unfortunately, heartbreak. These days, I have been channeling my writing around love and healing and finding and dating better men. But most of the things that I write about is from these men just doing me bad. But thank you guys, because you've made me a lot of money.
For sure. Everybody is like reposting your tweets.
Oh, you want to do what to me? Okay, watch this. I'm finna make a poem out your ass. But yeah. Shout out to my baby daddy.
Give us a couple little. What you work? You was working. No, yesterday you were working on something about friends. Just give us a little something.
I don't remember that poem. That one is a 3-minute poem.
Okay.
But it must have been the poetry that attracted him to me because he fell in love with my words. I was such a release that I caused him to break free. He found the truth within my voice he loved that set off an eternal spark because to the world I was this ray of light and only he could see the dark.
Okay.
That's from my book Breaking Point.
Okay.
Full transparency. I love that poem.
Okay. And so Breaking Point is it more of an autobiography or just poetry?
Oh, all my books are like autobiographies. Everything with my books, I'm dropping names. I'm giving scenarios. So my first book, Naked, is about being emotionally and vulnerable, exposed for the world to see. So there's no advice in that book because I did write that one as a teenager. So I had no advice to give. I just had feelings to share.
Okay.
So by the time I wrote Breaking Point and Healing Point, it's poetry, essays, and quotes quotes journeying me through breaking out of a toxic relationship and habit and healing and what to do next.
Okay. Okay.
So the next book that's coming is going to be even crazier.
Okay. Okay. So recently I've seen that your posts, they're kind of shifting. So are you in a relationship? What you got going on? What you making them burrito tacos for that day?
No, I'm single, but you got to be a special man to get me to cook for you. And I'm like the professional male basher, so I don't like men, but he's special. He get them tacos.
Okay. So, entrepreneurship it's been kind of challenging for the last, like, this kind of year, last 6, 7 months. And so I'm just wondering, like, what challenges have you experienced and, like, how have you dealt with them?
The biggest challenge for me and my business was losing my platform. I built up my platform to 200,000 followers and it got deleted on my birthday last year. So I haven't had my main platform for almost a year now. When it happened, it was like immediately stopping my sales.
Correct.
Because if you sell most of your products on Instagram and you lose your Instagram, it's like, boom, you're fired.
Right.
You're unemployed.
Right.
So I did have a lot of success with TikTok. I said, you know what, IG gonna delete me. I went on TikTok and ran up that audience to 250,000. I got my Facebook up to 200,000 as well. And I started dabbling with all my other platforms and feeding into them as I would do Instagram. But it's just something about that Instagram money that I had to get back online. So I definitely made a new page just at the end of last year.
Okay.
But the challenge with that was, are you prepared to have your money just stop?
Correct.
Because nobody prepares to have their platform deleted.
Correct.
We can prepare for a stock market dip, or we can prepare for the seasons changing, but nobody prepares to wake up and have everything that you built just get erased.
Right.
So I wasn't technically prepared, but luckily I'm a penny pincher and I save so much money. So I was able to survive, and I relocated within that time frame, and I got me a good apartment out here within that time frame. So if I wasn't a money saver, I would have been down bad. It would have been horrible for me.
Okay. So, but how did you deal with that initially? Because I know it was like, okay, now what?
So I had a conversation with God, because it actually happened while I was out on my 30th birthday vacation in Turks and Caicos. And I had got this villa that was like $1,000 a day, and we were right on the beach, and I wanted to create content. I wanted to, document that journey. And I was interviewing all my friends and family about turning 30 and what did our next decade look like. I had so much content to share with the world, and then my page got deleted. So I said, well, I used that moment. I said, what is God trying to teach me? He's trying to teach me to be present. Mm-hmm. So I didn't immediately say, oh, my Instagram got deleted, let me make another page. I took months offline so I could tap in with myself and be present. Like, I stopped everything. People was like, when are you going to get back on IG? I'm like, when God tells me it's time to tap back in. Clearly, there's a reason that it just got deleted for no reason.
Right.
I think that I was giving so much of myself to my brand and to social media and to entrepreneurship that being forced to tap out is the only way that I was going to tap in with myself.
Right.
Yeah.
And that happens. People lose their page. I've lost my page a couple of times. And I've gotten it back each time by the grace of God. But people will lose their page and then they just kind of lose it. But I tell people all the time, like, build your email list, get your text list. Now, there's a lot going on, the recession, this and that. Get on other platforms. Like, there are a lot of other platforms out there. So tap into some of those platforms.
Exactly.
So.
Do you struggle with thin edges? Do your grades give you trouble? Try our pigmented edge control. Our formula is non-greasy, it doesn't transfer, and dries fast. Visit ladiesfirstboutique.com to purchase.
The hard part was it got deleted. Like, I had just got off tour. So I had made so many networking relationships. I don't like to do the phone number thing because numbers will change.
Correct.
But your at name is pretty much your same at name. So when I'm networking, I'm getting people's at names.
Yeah.
I lost so much contacts and connections through losing that IG page. And then like even with my books, the back of my book is like where to find me. Everything is tied into that at name. So now it's like my Twitter handle, my Facebook handle, and my TikTok handle are all that at name. But now with Instagram, I have to have a new name because that old at name is deleted. Like it was a huge setback, but it was a learning experience to never put all your eggs in one basket.
Correct.
Ever.
Correct. You know what's interesting about what you said about the at name. So when I go to different events and stuff, people are like, oh, you have a business card? I'm like, no, I don't have business cards. You on Instagram?
Right.
You know, you on social
Follow
media?
me right here, right now.
Yeah, exactly. So if you had anything to say to any up and coming entrepreneurs or just entrepreneurs in general, like what is something that you want to leave them with, or just women that's going through things in relationships or trying to heal or, you know, any of that stuff?
I think I just want to let people know that believing in God is not enough. You have to trust God. And once you really trust God, you don't question nothing. So stuff be happening to me and people be like, how are you so calm? Like, how are you dealing with this? Because I'm like, it's obviously for a reason. Nothing is ever going to happen for no reason. You have to just trust that God know what he's doing. Listen, because sometimes we talk to God. We don't listen back when he's talking. So don't just believe in God, trust God. Don't just talk to God, listen to God. And I promise you, everything works out if you stick with that foundation. Like, no matter which way things is going for me, everything always works out because I know he know what he's doing.
Yeah, I agree. So one thing, like, and I'll post this often, like, I don't know what's going on, but God, I trust you.
Yes, I trust you.
Yeah.
And then with that energy, it's hard to be down on yourself or question anything because we can't see the big picture.
Correct.
We don't know what's going on.
Correct.
But if you trust that God knows what he's doing, then all right, who am I to question why this is happening to me?
Right.
Who am I to question why I lost all my money? Who am I to question why I lost my platform? Who am I to question why I lost my relationship or lost this or lost that? Don't question it, accept it, and just go with he know what he's doing.
Correct.
We can never know better than he know.
Correct.
So I just leave everything in God's hands and it works out.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. Like, definitely agree with that. And so, yeah. Well, anything else you want to share with us? Tell us where to find you.
You can find me all across social media, most of my platforms. I am Kara J, but my Instagram page is all things Kara J, as well as my website if you're interested in buying my books.
Okay. So what do you have coming up next?
Book 5 is coming and first album is coming. So first 3 books are for adults. My 4th book was my children's book that I co-wrote with my baby. Yes, part of entrepreneurship is being a full-time mother. My daughter is here in the studio.
Yeah.
So me and her co-wrote a #1 children's book that was a bestseller on Amazon. And book 5 now is going to be called The Side Effects of Heartbreak. Because I find that sometimes we heal from these relationships and we don't realize the side effects that we're left with. We don't realize what stays with us. Even after we get over that person, what did they leave you with? So each chapter of the book is like a chapter on your insecurity. It's like a chapter on you being delusional about things. It's like a chapter on you being angry and sad, a chapter on you being promiscuous. I'm talking about everything in this book. It's going to be a lot. So brace yourself, ladies.
Okay. That's what's up. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to They Lied About Entrepreneurship, where I am having candid conversations with entrepreneurs.